Welcome to the ACC Panic Room. I'm Joe Ovias. This is Lauren Brownlow. No, we are not Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski.
Not yet, anyway.
Kelly wants us to, badly. She actually suggested that I wear one of her necklaces to be like Johnny.
Oh, I like this idea.
Should we bring a bunch of sequins to Brooklyn?
I mean, I don't dislike this idea. Like, I don't understand why.
How many suitcases will we need, like Tara and Johnny?
Oh, several.
They have 22, I think, in South Korea.
We would need a lot of suitcases.
You think so? All
yeah.
right. Well, we are 2 weeks away from going to the ACC tournament in Brooklyn, and yet I still get the sense that nothing is solidified.
Oh, no. Not even
outside
close.
of Virginia. Virginia is solidified.
And Pitt is pretty close as well.
True. There's symmetry right now
Yes.
between the top and the bottom.
Yes.
But everything else in between,
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential movement from
Yes.
the middle of... I mean, we're looking at potentially 10 different ACC teams making the NCAA tournament, but nothing is solidified for the ACC tournament. Maybe it's solidified that NC State, Carolina, and Duke won't be playing on Tuesday, but again, we still got 2 weeks of basketball.
I don't
left.
think it's technically solidified that State won't, but it's pretty close. I mean, look, at this point, I think we can all pretty much say that it's Wednesday or later for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think all three still have a chance to get the double bye. I mean, technically speaking, all three still have a chance. You can't like the way Clemson's headed right now.
No.
Virginia obviously has that top spot on lock, but I mean, the other three are more than up in the air.
Well, the thing about Clemson and Louisville, Clemson, I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has, given all the injuries. I've been waiting for the other
I was
shoe to
surprised
drop.
it was so close with Duke, especially without Shelton Mitchell. I was like, there's no way they're going to have enough, even without Duke with having Bagley.
And then Louisville's had their ups and downs with David Padgett. They just ride a losing streak.
Well, and their end of season schedule is not friendly.
No, it's not.
So that's not good.
No, and that's the other thing about this that people start getting up in arms about. Some teams are going to be going through more difficult stretches to close out the season than others. For instance, NC State. The reason why I'm starting to get more comfortable talking about them as an NCAA tournament team under Kevin Keatts,
Just because of what they got left.
they really don't have a lot of tough left. Florida State at home is probably their next toughest game. Although with Boston College, you got the North Carolina kids coming to PNC Arena, so that's likely to be the what the hell loss. I'm chalking that one up to a don't be surprised if ... But really, the rest of the schedule is not taxing for NC State. Same with Duke. They don't have a necessarily taxing schedule outside of the North Carolina game.
They have tougher opponents, I would argue, but they're at home. So I don't think it's going to be... They're at Virginia Tech. That's definitely one. And by the way, Virginia Tech's still technically alive to like tie and then have a tiebreaker with Duke.
Yeah.
if we get to that place. But Virginia Tech has a really tough remaining schedule. So a lot of teams like in that middle area, Carolina has a tough remaining schedule, have kind of a difficult like last few games. Duke and State less so. So they have an opportunity to kind of solidify things in a good way for themselves.
Although it's funny you mentioned North Carolina with a little bit of a tougher slate. They are coming into their own, though.
Oh, yeah.
I've been arguing this all season long. Let it cook. Let it marinate. It'll be fine.
I was
It'll work
surprised.
itself out, and here they are.
I thought they were playing well. I still didn't think they would go up to the Yum Center and do that to Louisville. I just didn't.
Again, it's never been a talent issue for me. It's just been about everybody kind of coalescing here and getting right. And yeah, by the way, Roy Williams happens to be a good coach. And I think what's going to happen is when you look back on their turnaround, you're going to go back to PNC Arena where Roy Williams refused to call the timeout. And it's like, all right, it's time for y'all to grow up. And from that point on...
Against Duke, too. That's when it started.
I think the state game, though, was really where it was that run, that 19-0 run.
Yeah.
And Roy didn't call a timeout, and they dug themselves out of it. And that was where Roy was like, no, it's time. You guys need to figure this stuff out.
Figure it out.
And they've definitely turned the corner. Is Duke going to figure it out with Marvin Bagley? Bagley
like
theory?
when he comes back?
No, I think they're better without him. I think he just needs to start coming off the bench. Grayson Allen's certainly a better player with Marvin Bagley on the bench.
Obviously Duke's not a better team without Marvin
Are you sure?
Bagley. Well, hear me out.
Okay.
I think we can all agree objectively that that's not true, right? However, you're right about Grayson.
Grayson Allen's been better.
Yes, and I do think that that's not coincidental.
No.
And I do wonder what will happen when he comes back to the lineup. I mean, assuming he does at this point, because things are getting kind of mysterious. You know, we joke about that, but I do wonder how it will work, because I think Grayson has settled into a role on this version of Duke's team that he is very comfortable with. Will he be able to find that with Bagley, because he never did before? That's sort of my thing. Maybe.
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 Well, I think
does he come back at all? What is going on?
Yeah,
these are all valid questions
for a mild issue,
right? And that was
a
a mild issue, like 3 games ago.
But maybe if I could theorize here, this is pure speculation. this is the excuse to get guys into roles that they might need. Use a little bit more bench, get Grayson Allen comfortable running the show.
I mean, like I said, I'm not being like conspiratorial. I think that, they're being cautious, like they said.
That's fine.
It's just more like, is this more serious than they reported?
Maybe.
And he'll miss more time? Or is it like you said, they're just being real cautious? I don't know.
I would chalk it up to them just being really, really cautious and using the opportunity to get guys some minutes.
Yeah.
Because who am I going to sub? Well, now you can. You can sub guys. And I also think it goes back to Mike Krzyzewski talking about Grayson Allen taking command.
Yeah.
And I think it's helpful to get him going. Because what have we talked about?
Yep.
Grayson sometimes seems like a guy lost with what he needs to be doing. I've been arguing that he needs to have the ball in his hand, not play him off the ball. It seems to be working out fine. They're also a little bit better defensively.
They've gone zone full time. Yeah. That's really the main issue. He finally gave in on that.
They have.
But it'll be all up to me. The most interesting thing isn't the seeding. It's where Duke and Carolina finish, because they're fighting for that next spot in Charlotte, because only one of them can get there, because Virginia's getting there. So now we're going to figure out which one of them gets the second one.
You mean the ACC regular champ, Virginia?
Right. Yeah.
Are we doing that again?
The regular champ thing? It's not. What are we doing? What do you mean, what are we doing?
I just propose we call it...
I have a mute on that. I have an active mute on that in my Twitter.
I propose
because I'm so over all the people that get triggered over the word regular season anything. There's not a regular season. Well, okay, see, there is a regular season. It's not the champion. We all understand that. That doesn't mean that it's not a thing. I'm not even arguing the validity of it. I just like things that are correct.
Can we just call it the number 1 seed?
Call it whatever you want that doesn't upset you, okay? Snowflake. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Just get over it. We know they're not the champs, okay? Seriously.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of the ACC Panic Room. We will see you from Cameron Indoor Stadium on Wednesday night when Duke and maybe Marvin Bagley is back.
I don't know.
In that game against Louisville?
Who knows?
We'll see. Anyway, we'll see you Wednesday night from Durham.